What's up, guys? Welcome back. So if you're watching this video, hopefully you saw the one I posted just a couple days ago on the install of our brand new auxiliary battery system set up in the bed of this TRD Pro. We have a massive power bank in the bed of this truck now with a 3,000 watt inverter. Biggest reason we did that is sitting right here on the tailgate. We're going to be installing the SetPower RV60D Pro. It's a dual zone 60 quart fridge slash freezer. A lot of good reviews on this product, a lot of good reviews on this company. They seem like a very solid brand, very solid company. So we're going to get this out of the box. We're going to give you a look. We'll go over the specs. I'll give you a walk around on the fridge freezer, and then we're going to hook it up to the truck, see how it performs and how it holds up, keeping drinks cold, food cold, all that good stuff. So let's get it out of the box. We'll take a quick look and then we'll put it to the test. All right, so there it is, and then this actually was in the top of the box, and it looks like this is, okay, I know what this is. So the reason this is called the Pro, you could also just get this, you know, as the standard RV60D, but if you get the Pro version, it comes with this extendable handle, which I'll give you a quick look at. So you can extend this handle out, and the reason you would want that is if you get the Pro version, you also get wheels with this thing. So you can put wheels on it, you can extend that handle, lift it up and just wheel it around instead of having to carry it. So when you get into bigger size fridges like this, that's not a bad option. Just so you know though, that does not come standard. You would have to get the Pro version of that to get the wheels and the handle. Okay, so here it is. Inside, if you do get the Pro version, you're gonna get a couple boxes. And I'm guessing these are going to be the wheels and maybe mounting hardware. Let's open those up and take a look before we do anything else. All right, so I was correct. In the one box, you're going to get your two wheels, again, if you get the Pro version. In the other box, it had our instruction manual with some stickers, it looks like. We have our power cords, which we'll go over a little bit in better detail. And then we have these other parts over here, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not exactly sure what they are or what they're for yet. But this is what they look like. It must have something to do with the wheels. So let me take a look at the instruction manual and we'll get all that put together and we'll give you a look. So real quick, the pieces that look like this, you get two of them. And then the bar are actually the other. So we have this spring-loaded handle right here. If you don't get the Pro version and you don't have this extendable handle, that's what this is. It's the handle for the other side if you don't get the Pro. Okay, very easy to put together. You really can't screw it up. It only goes on one way. You could actually just mirror that side there. But just so you know, that I'm going to set this part aside because that's what this is for. We're not going to need this since we have the extendable handle on there. So if you get the Pro version, you're going to tip this up. You want to get at the underneath. There's going to be two screws right here, Phillips head. We just have to go ahead and remove them. Then you're going to need the four pieces that look like this. Can't mess them up. There's only four of them in the kit. You're going to take your handle, and you can see there's two pegs right here and here. They're going to go in those two holes there and there. So just line those up. And then take your four bolts that look like this, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we're just going to take our wheels, pop them on. Then you're going to take the two nuts, and that's how you're going to secure the wheels to the fridge freezer, blue side out. They do give you the appropriate spanner wrench to go ahead and tighten these down. And then on the bottom side, there's two more holes, 1 and 2. That's where you're going to put these. They're basically just the resting feet for when you're putting it down and resting it on the ground. So let me show you the good part about getting this Pro version. Now that we have the wheels on and the feet on the other side, there's two tabs up underneath this handle. If you push them up, you can extend the handle like so. It locks in place, and now you have a very portable 60 quart fridge freezer that you can easily move around and take anywhere you want to go, so you don't have to worry about carrying it. All right, so that's just the good part about getting the Pro version with the wheels and this handle. The other good part about it is if you get the Pro version and let's say you're going to use it stationary for a while, you can very easily take the wheels and even this extendable handle off if you so choose. to bring the handle back in, you just pop those 2 tabs underneath, push them up, locks in place. It's that easy. Let's take a look at the inside of this thing and get it hooked up to the truck. Before we take a look at the inside, let's take a look at the outside features here. So as I mentioned, spring-loaded handle, and that's pretty convenient there. If you don't have the extendable, as I mentioned, you can have the other handle that comes with it installed on the other side. Here's going to be your main control screen, so you have 2 zones. Okay, and again, this is a fridge/freezer combo. You can use it all as one big fridge, or all as one big freezer, or half and half. Actually, it would be like a smaller section, but it's completely customizable. If you want this side to be the fridge and that side the freezer, you can, or vice versa. It's basically however you want to set this thing up. So the divider in there that I'm going to show you, when that divider's in there, you'll be able to adjust both zones. When you take that divider out, you're only going to be able to adjust one zone, because that controls the whole cooler in itself. So all right, so that's our main screen. We'll cover that a little bit better once we get it hooked up to power. Speaking of power, this is how you're going to do it. Right down in here, you can see there you have a 15 amp fuse, and right there is your power connection. You're going to get a cord that looks like this. One end looks like that. The other end is basically a 12 volt plug. You're going to go ahead and plug that right in there. And then you can take this end, if you're going to power it via 12 volt outlet, or like the cigarette lighter type outlet, you would just run this directly to that. What we're going to be doing is, it also comes with this adapter to plug it into your typical wall type outlet. We're going to have it plugged into our inverter, which takes a standard plug like you would use in the house. So this piece here, as you can see, has the standard plug, AC plug on it. The other end, I'm sorry, this plugs into the adapter. This is 2 separate pieces. So you're going to plug this into the adapter. On the other side of the adapter is the 12 volt plug that we would then take this and plug into. Okay, and now we can run this, plug it into our inverter, and we're good to go. That's how we're going to be powering this fridge. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. I wanted to announce that SetPower is actually our newest and latest channel partner and sponsor. We now have a discount code for you guys if you want to pick one of these things up. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video. I am blown away by the final results that you'll see in the ending. Discount code will be on the screen for you, and also down below. You can use the discount code on their website. It'll save you 12% off any one of their fridges, not only this one. You can also get these on Amazon, which I'll link down below for you. Unfortunately, the discount code doesn't work on Amazon though, so however you want to shop, but if you want to save that 12%, go to their website. Link will be down below. Use our code. SetPower, I want to thank you for sending this out. This thing has blown me away so far. Watch to the end and you'll see what I mean. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. All right, let's take a closer look at this thing. The lid is reversible. Right now we have the handle on this side. All you do is lift up and that'll pop the lid open. It does latch, as you can hear, so you have to pick up in the middle. If you want to swap the lid, literally all you got to do is get it at the proper angle. You can see it slides in with those 2 tabs right there in the grooves. So if you want it the other way, you just line it up and pop it on the other side. It's that quick, that easy to swap the sides. So that's pretty cool. Let me flop it around, back around, just to give you a good look at the cooler. Now with the lid open, hopefully you can tell this thing is massive. There is a ton of room in here. You're gonna get 3 different baskets. 1, 2, and actually the third one is held in there. So let's get, this is the divider I was mentioning to keep it 2 different sections, fridge and freezer. And once we get that out of the way, we can then take this other piece out of the way as well. This has like little grippers on it actually, so it doesn't slide around on you. Before we go any further, 2 things I want to mention so I don't forget. There is an LED light in here, so when we hook it up to power, you'll get to see that. There's also a drain plug in the bottom, which is awesome. Not all of these fridge slash freezers come with that option. In my opinion, something that small makes a world of difference, because if you spill or if something thaws out or whatever, it's so easy just to pop that drain plug out, let everything drain, wipe it down, you're good to go. Makes it super easy to keep nice and clean. So with the dividers and the baskets out of there, like I said, this thing is big. I brought out a 2-liter bottle of soda just to kind of give you, you know, just somewhat of a reference. Let me grab the camera off there and get you a better look. All right, that's better. You can get better idea of the depth and all of the room in there. I mean, that 2-liter bottle of soda fits in there with plenty of room above it. It's just massive. Here's the LED light that I mentioned. This is the divider. So basically what happens is you can see on the side of the divider, sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. You can see this groove in here, has it on both sides. And then you could also see these ridges inside. When you pop that down on those ridges, like so, you can see what I mean by there's one side that's bigger than the other, but again, it's completely customizable. You could have that side as the fridge, that side as the fridge, vice versa, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want by controlling out here. All right, so there's a good look at the inside. Tons of room in this thing. I cannot wait to hook this up to power, so let's go do that. We'll go over the settings, and then we're gonna put this to the test and see how much power it draws off of our auxiliary batteries, and you know, just about how long we can get out of this thing if the vehicle is sitting without moving for a while. Let's go hook it up to power and see what we get. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. The instructions say that you can kind of pre-cool this thing, whatever, you know, keep it inside to keep it cool before you actually even plug it in. We're not gonna do that. I wanna see how this thing performs. It is 82 degrees right now where we are. Partly sunny, partly in the shade because of my rack. We are just gonna plug this thing in, set one side to a freezer temperature, one side to a fridge temp, and we're gonna see not only how long does it take to cool. We're just gonna put some water bottles in there for right now just to test it out. I wanna see how long does it take and how much usage or how much power is it gonna drain out of my batteries to go from 82 degrees ambient temperature to getting the inside of this thing nice and cold for our water. And then again, we're gonna have part of it set up as a freezer, so I wanna see how long it takes that water to freeze. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna take this cord, we're gonna plug it in, then we're gonna take our adapter, plug in the cigarette lighter, or 12 volt, whatever you wanna call it. Then we're gonna take our AC plug, or our household plug, plug that in, and we are gonna plug into our inverter. Now my inverter's off right now, and if you didn't see my video on my battery setup, go back and watch it so you know what we're working with. I'm not going to go into crazy detail as far as that in this video. This is more of just a test. I want to see my batteries are fully charged right now. We have 2 of the 125 amp hour batteries back here, ran in parallel for 250 amp hours total. So they are fully charged at 100%. Let's go ahead and plug this in, turn on our inverter, and see. We'll set our temperatures actually. So let me turn the inverter on, then we'll set our temps, and we'll see how long it takes this thing to get cold and frozen in 82 degree weather here in Northeast PA. All right, inverter's on. Let's turn the power on here. So it has 2 different modes. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me get you at a little better angle. Okay, so we hit the power button, turned it on, and here we have our settings. It has a max mode and an eco mode. The max mode is when you really want to cool things down quick. We're actually going to go into eco mode, so just hit that button right there. You can see the eco lights up. So let's set the freezer side, which is, we're going to have it set up over here. Let's set that up to, I don't know, 10 degrees. It's below freezing, so there you go. The fridge side, let's set that to 36. All right, so here you can see actually when that's done flashing, you can see the outside temperature. It shows right there. This is saying it's 77 because it's in the shade. But again, on my watch, well, right now it's actually 80 degrees even now on my watch. So 77 degrees ambient temp. Very easy to adjust the temperature. Obviously, you're just going to use the plus or minus. Let's put the freezer side at 5 degrees. Actually, you can see 5 flashing there. It's as easy as that to operate this thing. Now, one thing I want to mention, if you take the divider out, the cooler does sense that divider in there. If you take that divider out, you're only going to be able to operate, I believe it's this side. So don't think anything is broken, or if you don't see anything on this screen over here. If you take that divider out, the freezer senses it, and you're only able to adjust using this side. these buttons right here. So don't think it's broke if you don't see anything showing up on that side if the divider is out. All right, so let's go ahead and actually, all right, so it's 2:20 p.m. right now. You can see on my watch, hopefully. Let's go back into our battery and see how much this is pulling currently, and then we'll grab some waters and drop them in there. Okay, so here you can see we're just looking at house battery number 1. Number 2 is going to be the same because they're ran in parallel, but you can see it's drawing 3 amps of power, 41.6 watts roughly. You can see there on the screen. So with that being the case, and we're going to let this kind of play out, you can see the timestamp right there in the corner of my phone. It's 2:22 now. We're going to let this play out, and I'm just going to leave this plugged in, leave this in the back of the truck. Let's see, as I mentioned, how long it takes to cool down in this weather and how much it drains our battery. With that being the case, we have a 250 amp hour setup because, again, we have 2 of the 125s in parallel, so you add them together. This thing should run for quite some time before I even have to worry about turning on the truck because of the type of setup we have. And if you didn't see that video on my auxiliary battery, go back and watch that if you want more information. Let's go ahead and let this run. I'm gonna grab some water bottles, toss them in here, and let's see what this thing can do over a few hours. 4 room temperature waters, 2 are going in the fridge side, 2 are going in the freezer side. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, I'm worse than a kid. So here we can see on my watch, it's 3:26. So it's been literally just over an hour, about an hour and 5 minutes, call it, since it's been plugged in. It's already down to 33 on the freezer side and 37 on the fridge side. So the fridge side is basically at the target temperature already, because if you remember, we set that at 36. Freezer still has a little ways to go, obviously, but that's on eco mode. As you can see by that green light right there, we don't even have this in max mode. So a little over an hour and 5 minutes, fridge is already where it should be, freezer is well on its way, and when I pop the top, it is cold in there. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty impressed so far. I mean, yeah, it is cold in there, and you could feel the difference. Wow. All right, I wanted to get that little video clip. Actually, let's check the batteries real quick and see how they're holding up. I don't know if you can see the skies, but it's getting kind of dark. So I'm gonna let this sit now for a while. I think we have some storms rolling in. So let's check the batteries real quick, and then we'll let this sit for a few hours and we'll check it again later on. I no sooner said that, and it actually started to drizzle. So we definitely have some rain moving in. But as you can see right there, you can see the time up in the left-hand corner of my screen. It's 3:29. You can see batteries, house 1 and 2 are still at 97%. And if we click on one, let's check the draw. You can see right there, it's only drawing 2 amps and about 27 to 28 watts, roughly in that area. All right, so that's where we're at after an hour of use. We'll pick back up later on. Temperature and battery check. So as you can see on the watch, it is now 7:02. So it's been a little over 4.5 hours, almost 5 hours. As you can see, the temperature is now 36 in the fridge, 10 in the freezer. Okay, I am definitely impressed with this thing so far. We're going to do a battery check as well to see how much power it's drained so far. But let's go ahead and take a look inside and see how we're looking. There you can see the LED. So this is the fridge side. Oh yeah, they're nice and cold. And then this is the freezer side. Let's see. Oh, yep, definitely starting to freeze. You can see it. So, man, that is not bad, guys. 80-degree day here in Northeast PA. We did not pre-chill this thing. And that one's not starting to freeze just yet, but the other one is. Yeah, that's pretty impressive so far. Let's check the batteries real quick. All right, so we're gonna let it finish connecting here. House battery number 1, you can see at the top there, that's still at 91%. House battery 2 is 90. That's okay if they vary by a percentage like that or so. That's nothing to worry about, just so you guys know. Let's go ahead and click on number 2 and see what the ampage is showing and all that good stuff. Okay, so you can see drawing only 2 amps, roughly 29 watts, give or take, right there. And up in the top here, you can see it gives you the rough time remaining. So according to this, drawing the power that it's drawing, this still has another roughly, you can see it right there by my thumb, 50 hours. So that means that this cooler is going to stay cold for over 2 days without moving this truck off of our battery configuration that we have back here. That is awesome. We have not moved the truck. The alternator has not charged these batteries at all. That is definitely impressive. I'm not gonna lie, I expected this cooler to pull more power than it's pulling. You know, with it being an 80-degree day and a 60-quart cooler, man, that's pretty good. We're gonna stop here tonight. I'm gonna let this sit all night. Tomorrow morning when I get up, we're gonna come out and check this thing, and we'll wrap the video up. I'll give you my final thoughts on this cooler, and yeah, we'll see where the batteries are at then. There you go. So far, so good. Definitely impressed with the cooling power on that thing and how little power it actually draws off our batteries. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. Let's do a check on the fridge, freezer, and the batteries. You can see on my watch it is Sunday the 13th at 10:06 a.m. just so you know how long we've been waiting. Let's take a look. Okay, so you can see we have hit our target temperatures overnight. The freezer is, well, it's saying 6, but close enough. We had it set at 5. Fridge has been steady at 36. If we open up the top, waters on the fridge side are super cold, perfect, just the way we want them. The two on the freezer side are rock solid. So that's another thing that I want to mention, because it's something that I was thinking with this divider. Now, not that I didn't trust it would work, but I was curious if there was going to be any bleed over. And what I mean by that is, you know, with this divider just being pretty much just a plastic rectangle like it is, I was worried that, you know, having the temperature set the way they're set, would the ones on the fridge side possibly freeze because of the bleed over of the temperature, or vice versa? Would the ones on the freezer not freeze because we have the other side set above, you know, at 36? As you can see, those two in the freezer section are rock solid. The ones on the fridge are right where we want them. So pretty impressed there as well. That's awesome. Let's do a battery check real quick and we'll wrap the video up. All right, my battery app just finished loading. I'm gonna show you the screen. It's 10:11. House battery 2 is at 68. House battery 1 is at 66. I'll let you see it there for yourself. Still tons of power. Let's click on it and see what the ampage is drawing now. Okay, so now that it's at target temp, still only drawing 2 amps and low 20s as far as wattage, which again, I'll let you see this. And the remaining time that we mentioned, how the batteries show you how much time you have remaining before they're dead with the power, is actually still at 53 hours, because now that the fridge freezer is at temperature, it's not pulling as much power. That is incredible. I'm going to show you the screen just so you can see for yourself. Pause it, freeze it, whatever you want to do if you want to take a look at those numbers. But that is incredible. So we've been running this thing for roughly 20 hours. Our batteries are only at 68%. And now, because it's at the temperature we want it, it's only drawing enough power to where we're now going to get another over 2 days worth of use before we even have to worry about starting our truck to charge the house batteries back here. That is incredible. I am super impressed with this thing. So basically what that's telling me is we are going to get roughly 3 days use out of this fridge freezer before we even have to start our truck to charge up the batteries that we have this connected to. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of blown away by that. So SetPower, I want to thank you for sending this out to me. Now guys, stay tuned, because what we're gonna do, I'm sure you saw, this will fit in the bed of our truck underneath the tonneau cover. It's a very tight fit, and there's actually a little bit of a lip that I kind of have to like lift up on my cover just enough to sneak it under. but that's without the wheels and the handle. I am going to be getting the RV45 that we're also going to be putting that on the slide system. So that will fit under our tonneau cover, and we're going to have it on a slide system where I can just pull it out and push it back in. It'll lock in place, so stay tuned for that. Again, SetPower, I want to thank you so much for sending this out to me and partnering with the channel. This thing is incredible. I cannot wait to put it to use. In fact, I'm actually going to set the temps how I want them. I think I'm just going to use this as one big fridge for right now, to be honest. So I'm going to go ahead and take that divider out, keep it set at 36. I'm actually going away for a week. So this thing is going to get put to use for sure. Blown away by it, the specs, the power, everything about it has been awesome. So if I run into any issues with it, I'll keep you guys posted, but so far so good, and I am definitely impressed with this thing. Check out the link and the discount code down below. You can also get these off Amazon. Unfortunately, our discount code doesn't work on Amazon. I might have mentioned that in the video, but yeah, pick one of these things up, guys. At the price point, you're not going to find much better. Super impressed with this thing. Any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. If you want to see anything in particular with this type of fridge freezer setup, let me know and we'll get it addressed for you. Appreciate you watching as always, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.